Welcome to part three of our passive income series. Thanks for tuning in. And in the previous two parts, we talked about real estate, dividends, social media, and you can create those online courses, and the 4% rule, and just investing in a broad market index fund. So today we want to talk about how you can leverage your business in the form of royalties and creative financing as a way to generate passive income and set yourself free.
Yeah, it's the creative financing, especially through real estate, has kind of been the new hot topic. It's been going on for quite some time, but it's really hitting mainstream media in terms that is a way to create passive income for yourself. Um, there's definitely several ways to look at it. There's royalties to where you own something and you essentially let somebody borrow that, and that's what you're getting paid off of. A quick example that I know of is when somebody has a music catalog.
Right.
If you own the rights to these songs, the publishing, the copywriting, you basically can get paid off of that. A good example of that is Mariah Carey. Around Christmas time, the amount of money that Mariah Carey makes for All I Want for Christmas Is You is insane. And she's somebody, because she owns the publishing and the masters to that is yearly reoccurring income every venue that plays that song, unless they get permission from her.
So this Christmas season, when you hear that song, just think Mariah Carey's
getting
paid
right
now.
She's getting paid.
Uh-huh.
So that's the royalty part of it. But to kind of pivot back to owning your own business and selling that and how that can create passive income. Sometimes you may sell a business for $1 million, you get $1 million cash, and that's all it is. Now, if you sell it creatively, you could potentially get 1.5, 2 million or above if the terms are structured in a way that you are creating passive income for yourself, and that person buying your business is still able to operate with the positive cash flow with buying your business. So a good example of that would be, I actually just had a meeting with a client that they're plumbers. Okay. And so they themselves aren't the plumbers. They own the plumbing company. They hire plumbers to do the jobs. They acquired a business. They acquired a plumbing company, and they basically paid double of what that company's worth. The reason that they agreed on that purchase price is because they're paying $0 for the first 24 months. Gotcha. So it's a way for them to acquire that clientele, that book of business. But then that new business owner, not only are they going to get a lump sum payment after that 24 months, but they're going to keep getting paid on what their business is worth, probably long after they're dead. That's going to be set up through a trust, that trust is owned by their children, and then their grandchildren get to benefit that. So that is a way to create passive income for yourself, to where that person, let's just call it $1 million. That person could have gotten $1 million and been done with it, but they're getting significantly more throughout the whole tenure of the agreement, because they were able to agree on a seller finance.
And at that point, you're not just creating passive income, you're creating a legacy.
Sure.
And I think that's something that, people are thinking about as they get older, is like, okay, like I've kind of got myself taken care of, but how do I take care of my kids and their kids?
What do I leave for the next generation other than just money?
Exactly. And so when, if a client comes to you and says, hey, I heard about seller financing, when do you recommend these types of, maybe zero upfront type of balloon payment financing?
If it's somebody selling or buying?
Someone who's, well, let's approach both. So let's say.
So if you come to me and you say, I really want to buy a business, kind of teach me how to buy it on seller finance. A lot of it is structuring the terms to that business owner, how them selling you the business through seller finance is going to benefit them in the long run. And a lot of that is not only creating the narrative, but structuring the terms to where, Now, if that person needs money up front, it just doesn't work. It's not terms that can work for both parties. But say, for example, a business owner has been a CPA for the last 20 years. He's built up a great book of business, a lot of good returning business clients. And all he wants to do is just go down to the Florida Keys and relax for his retirement. He may not need the full book of business price to go do that. He may need, 50 grand. The book of business is worth $1 million. Paying a fraction of that to get those clients for a potential buyer, that's a win.
Gotcha. Okay.
So a lot of it is how you're going to structure that when those payouts happen. At the end of the day, if that book of business is worth $1 million, you better be getting, at least 2 times that amount. A lot of times people go off the EBITDA. That's basically what your business is worth.
It's like an EBITDA multiple.
The multiplier. So that is if you are acquiring a business. Now, if you're selling a business, really, whether you're selling anything, whether it's a house, a business, it's all what works for you.
Right. And you might get, it sounds like you might get more for your business than you would in the form of a lump sum. So because you're basically saying, yeah, like I know you don't have the money right now to pay me, but let's do some creative financing. You get more money as the seller. And the buyer, their trade-off is they don't need to put forward that capital that they might not have access to at the moment, or maybe they will down the road. So it almost seems like it's mostly a cash flow type trade-off.
Definitely.
Okay, that makes sense.
Most people that are buying businesses, cash flow is the primary reason why they're doing that.
Cash is king, as we learned in
cash is king.
Yeah.
And it's the idea of what that business looks like under new management over the next 2 to 3 years. It could be something as sophisticated as a financial firm.
Gotcha.
Or something along the lines of a roofing company.
Right.
Both could be very lucrative. At the end of the day, it's about the systems and processes that you as the new buyer are putting into place to 2x, 3x that business that you're buying. Because as a business buyer, why would you agree to pay more for something that it's worth unless you can 2, 3x that number? So it's all about the terms. It's all about the cash flow. But at the end of the day, I believe it's about the belief in yourself and the systems and processes that you could take that business from $1 million business to a $10 million business.
Right. And you got to trust yourself. That's a lot of passive income is trusting yourself.
Absolutely.
Because you got to say, I'm going to do this upfront work and I'm going to get that passive income machine moving. And then I'm going to relax and go to the Florida Keys or whatever you want to do. Sometimes I feel like in a previous life, I must have been like a retiring CPA because I already want to go to the Florida Keys and do nothing.
I hear you.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
So this has been our passive income series for the podcast. Like, comment, and subscribe. And down below, go ahead and give us more of your passive income ideas. There's so many out there, and especially in where the world is at with the internet. There's just more and more opportunities every day, it seems like. So tune in next week, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys. Catch you next week.